What's up, people? Welcome back to Cricfootz. We are back again, me and Sai, again with a new episode of this time with a cricket chat. I would say, which we call it as a crick chat. So we have recently witnessed an amazing series between two really top class teams, India and Australia. So we will be discussing everything which happened in brief. So it will be a total overview about what happened in all three formats of the game. So before anything else, let's welcome Sai to today's episode. Sai, welcome. How are you doing?
Thank you. Doing great. I think still not able to come out of the series we all witnessed, right from going down to bouncing back like champions. I think too much action in this series to discuss about. So very excited for the cricket chat today.
Absolutely. I think we all witnessed. I think in the lockdown, most of the people were in their homes. They were waiting for a lot of exciting cricketing action. We all know that the level of cricket has dropped to a massive extent. We are not seeing competitive cricket played in those high regards between all teams. But this was really a very competitive series. Most of the experts wrote off India uh, in their travel. So I think the way India played overall in all formats, I think it was really an amazing effort.
Absolutely yes. The way the series started in the ODI, I think Australia thoroughly dominated us in the first two games, won the toss, choosing to bat first, and putting up a huge score of nearly 350 runs in both the games. And I think the wicket was great for batsmen. India did have a good effort in the chase, but were a bit short and lacked some composure in the end. If you take the first match, you see Australia had two centurions. Aaron Finch and Steve Smith scored a very quick century in around 65 balls or something. So,
Yeah. Yeah, if you analyze the one day games, it was more of like who bowls better, because both the teams were really smashing the bowlers out of the park. If you look at the first game, Australia batting first scored a mammoth 374 runs, losing 6 wickets. And to be honest, India did provide a good fight, but at the end, when you score 374, you really need a century in
absolutely.
from one of your top batsmen. I think Hardik Pandya tried his level best at the end for India, scoring a massive 90. But overall, I think, as I said, when there are high scoring games, you cannot analyze much. It's all about who bowls better. So Australia did ensure that they could restrict India to 308. So nowadays 308 or 315 is not a high score anymore because the T20 impact is always there in a one day game. So I think
Yes.
good performance from Adam Zampa. I think he picked up
Yes.
4 wickets and Australia at the end comfortably won the first game out in the ODI series.
Absolutely agreed. I think they uh, were disciplined in terms of bowling. I think we lacked some game time as well when it comes to ODI cricket. I think post lockdown, the cricketers were used to the IPL and the T20 format. So I think it took a couple of games for them to get used to this 50 over format as well. And if you see the next game as well, Australia nearly scored 400 runs, 389.
Absolutely. Uh,
Yes,
Even again, I think the main difference is that there was one batsman who was scoring a century for them. In the last game, there were two others, and in this game there was Steven Smith who stepped onto the plate and he
yes,
scored a massive century. Typical Steven Smith innings did not waste much balls, and he scored a fluent century. And in reply, as you said, yeah, Australia did put up a score of 389. But I think again India batted well. We always do good
Yes,
in terms of the batting. It's just that the uh, bowling always lets us down. But yes, I was really surprised with the way Australia handled Jasprit Bumrah, because I really
we
thought that he was being toyed around with his bowling. He really lacked confidence, and the way he performed in the IPL, I thought he would be the main man, the strike bowler for India, who the Australians will have a lot of difficulties to face. But he was being smashed to all parts of the ground. But yeah, that was disappointing to see, and even more disappointing was that the over reliance on him. There was
yeah.
no other bowler who actually stepped on and took over the charge, because even Navdeep Saini, Mohammad Shami, all the fast bowlers especially were taken to the cleaners, and they were really hammered.
Yes, correct. They were failing to take wickets, but on the other hand, they were not even able to stop the runs flow. If you see, Australian batsmen uh, had it a very easy game, especially when it came to rotating the strike. And one more special mention on the way were fielding on the field. I mean, too many drop catches, overthrows, and misfields. You cannot drop a catch for Steve Smith and then expect him not to score runs. He's going to
Yeah.
punish you. And the same thing happened. As you said, India batted well, I think, till the time Virat Kohli was there in the middle. There were hopes, but once he left for around 89 runs, I think the game was done and dusted then, considering the number of runs we required at that point of time.
Absolutely, and if you analyze thoroughly, India scored a lot of runs. But if you see the stats of their fast bowlers, they had really decent economies. So
Hmm.
mixing of pace, bowling short to the Indian batsmen did really help the Australian bowlers, because Australian pitches is all about bounce and pace, etc.
Yes,
So overall, I was actually not disappointed with India's performance.
yes,
But yes, it's all about how you bowl in those slog overs and how you bowl in the first power play, because both teams have attacking batsmen, aggressive batsmen. Most of the players were getting out in the deep, so it was a thorough batting pitch. It was a delight for any batsman who wants to play cricket. But yes, again, 389 was a huge score for India to chase down. They tried,
yes,
but they couldn't, and Australia won the series, winning this game and won the series too, and a 2-0 unassailable lead.
yes. I think we did get a consolation win in the third ODI where the things turned around. We batted first, put up a good score of 302, and restricted them to around 289 runs. Again, the man in form, Hardik Pandya, scored a brilliant 90 odd runs, and I think he has been one of those players who's carrying his form right from IPL to the international cricket as well.
Absolutely, I think he has had a very good series in Australia. I really enjoyed his batting, very clean hitting. Most of the people who thought that we would miss Dhoni, I think the Hardik Pandya has really replaced him well. I hope he can just continue, because we all know how much talent he has. Just don't think about the off the field gimmicks which he has with all those things which he has done. But overall, he's a talented cricketer. He's a useful cricketer. Has to work on his bowling, but I think batting is his main strength.
Yes,
There are many bowlers in India who can bowl like him, who come with a medium pace and have their one off
absolutely.
cutters and leg cutters. But I think his main strength is coming down the order and batting well. So he has had a great series. Uh, Congratulations to him, I would say, because he has had a tough time off the field. He was out of the team, etc. So a great series for him, and a good consolation win. I think this win was very much needed for India to get something in the series, and I think this win very much boosted the morale of the players and turned their things, especially in the T20 series.
Absolutely. Also, credits to the way Ravindra Jadeja has been playing. I think he's been looking sensational with the bat for almost a year right
especially
now.
batting. Yeah.
Yes, we have not seen Ravindra Jadeja taking so much responsibility with bat and playing those orthodox and proper shots for a long time. So it was great to see him bat in such a fashion as well.
Absolutely. We all, so we have been seeing Ravindra Jadeja since the under 19 days. Like at least I have been following him, and
Yes,
uh, to be honest, in terms of fielding, in terms of bowling, we all knew what he can do. But he also batted pretty well in the under 19 competition. So I'm really disappointed that he has not really been the batsman which he should have been throughout his career. But uh, as in Hindi they say "Der hai durust hai." So finally he has come in, and now at least even in the last IPL. I think he has performed well for the CSK team,
yes,
providing some nice contributions at the bottom half of the innings. So good to see him play. Great performance in the Test series, which will come towards to
yes, absolutely.
also. I mean at the end. But talking about the T20 series, we took a lead straight away in the
Yes,
first game. I think T20 internationals provides uh, all audience and cricket fans to see who the bench strength, the younger players, and it was a delight to see T. Natarajan, Washington Sundar, Deepak Chahar,
yes.
all these young players taking onto the field. I think most of them were on their first away series, and it was a delight.
Absolutely, and I think KL Rahul also stamped his authority coming to the T20 format. We all know how great a T20 KL Rahul had, especially the form he was having in IPL. So I think he gave us a good start in the first innings. As you said, Ravindra Jadeja came in the middle and scored a quick 44 odd runs for India
Yeah,
to put them into a competitive total, I must say, of 160 runs. But I still felt it was below the par score,
below par.
and
Yeah.
I was expecting Australia to win this game. But credits to the way we bowled in this game. I think the ODI was just a warm up kind sort of thing for us where we were getting used to the condition and stuff. But then in T20 we were right up there.
Absolutely. So this the first T20 match was played in the exact same ground where the third one day was held. So
Yes,
you very correctly pointed out the fact that in the last one day Australia scored around 300 runs, right?
yes,
Both teams scored around 300 runs. So I beg your pardon. India scored 300 runs, but
yes,
Australia came close. So it was a batting pitch. 160 was really not a score. Again, thanks to Ravindra Jadeja, we saw him bat really well. But what a performance by T.
Chahal.
Natarajan.
Yes,
Yuzi Chahal, of course, an experienced bloke, but T. Natarajan in his debut series, I think
yes,
he has been an absolute sensation right from the IPL. Again, in the IPL, we were talking about him not being the person who is taking a lot of wickets, but the way he was bowling Yorkers and the way he showed confidence, he really has a lot of self confidence and belief in his skill. And
yes.
really great performance. 3 wickets for him, and keeping Australia just up to 150 runs in 20 overs, I think, was a great performance.
Absolutely. I think the way he bowled, especially in the death as well, he was even the penultimate 19th over and he picked up a wicket and just gave away, I think, 7 odd runs, if I'm not wrong. So, playing for the first time in the Indian jersey and you were able to deliver this type of form, I think that shows his mettle and his skill set. T. Natarajan, for all the viewers, is not a youngster out there. He's almost 30 years old. So, and I know how we all know how difficult it is for someone not to play for India A or any other side and directly pitch in into the main team and perform as well. So we can understand how much pressure he had been going through. But credits to the selectors and cheers to him for you know playing the way he's always been playing. We all know how humble he is and the background he has come from, and absolutely fantastic performance from T. Natarajan.
Yeah, and also shout out to the other leagues, except we all focus on the Indian Premier League a lot. I think T Natarajan has come from the Tamil Nadu Premier League, if I'm
Yes,
not
yes,
wrong.
definitely.
So
He has come from India.
yeah, so I think shout out to all those Tamil Nadu Premier League and the Karnataka Premier League, which we cricket fans don't have a lot of focus on. I think they are not
Yes,
as celebrated as the Indian Premier League because that's the main stage. And T Natarajan has been on and off in the IPL auctions too. I think he was picked up by
yes.
Kings 11
Punjab.
Punjab. Yes,
Yes.
really did not prove his mettle, I would say. Did he
Mhm.
also play for CSK? Did
No,
he?
no.
No, he didn't.
He was in
But
he
yeah,
was in SRH for a couple of years, but didn't get a game. But then in
yeah,
T20,
yeah,
especially after Bhuvi's injury, it was his time. I felt.
yeah. Always a talent. We all knew that he has a lot of talent, but in
Yes.
the SRH team, we finally saw what the talent can do, especially especially delivering a lot of balls in the block hole. So that is his main strength. And another biggest strength of him is staying humble. He doesn't
Mhm.
overreact. He always focuses on the game. I think that's
Yes.
really good. So India winning this game. Also, a great performance in the next game too by India. I think
Yes.
Australia batted first in this game, and they scored a great total of 194.
Huge total.
194. Yeah, I think that's a total which we expect from a team like Australia, and it was at the Sydney Cricket Ground.
Mhm.
Again, a batting pitch, and the way Matthew Wade and Steven Smith batted in this game. I think they almost took the game away. But when you have the top order shining for India, it's always you always know that you have the upper hand in the game.
Yes. I think after when you're chasing a target of 190 odd runs, you need a terrific start and a aggressive start, which we all can always hope for from a batsman like Shikhar Dhawan. And
Yeah.
he scored a very quick half century to give us that momentum going into the game. Then Virat Kohli took over, scored some quick 40 odd runs. But in the end, again, the Pandya show came up,
Yeah.
banged all the ballers out there, and a terrific series wrap up for us. 2-0 victory, and it was a huge momentum gain for us going into the Test series as well. So the way we chase down this target shows that we have a lot of squad depth, and we're not going to miss MS Dhoni anymore because there are some finishers out there who have, I think, been trained under him right now, whom we can see performing in and out for India.
Absolutely, and it was really strange to see the way the Australian captain Matthew Wade rotated his bowlers in this game because you cannot use so many bowlers when you already have a stiff total in the board because Sean Abbott just bowled 2 overs and there were two costly overs because Glenn Maxwell went for a lot of
Yes.
runs in his 1 over, and that very much changed the game. And uh, when you have that kind of, you need a backup bowler too. So someone, if he's given 19 runs away, you can bring Sean Abbott in and get those
Mhm.
runs down or get the run rate up because
Yes,
Abbott was bowling really well. I would say he was
yes,
he was not leaking those many runs as the other bowlers. So I think Matthew Wade, maybe inexperience in this format of the game, maybe that took toll on him, and there were a
yes.
couple of rusty decisions. And yeah, as you said, Pandya at the end smashed all the bowlers, especially the fast bowlers outside the park, and India came back really strong in this Australian series and won the T20 series 2-0.
Yes, absolutely. I think Australia also got a consolation victory in the
Yeah.
third T20 match where they scored a very good total of 185 runs. We almost chased it down. Pandya, till the time he was out there, almost helped us chase it down to make it 3-0. But in the end, uh, too close but yet too far situation for India. And the T20 series wrapped up with India winning it 2-1.
Absolutely. And this is the confidence which was needed for India to come back into the game, because they were going into a very hard battle of a test series, which was coming up right after this. And it was a four match test series without Captain Kohli, which
Mhm.
was really an uh, important situation for Team India. And being led by Ajinkya Rahan, I was very confident because he
Mhm.
seems to be a very comfortable and composed guy. He has all the attributes of Rahul Dravid, I would say.
Yes.
Always performs under pressure and does not take in a lot of does absorb the pressure and does not let it go around the team. But yeah, I think this was one of the best test series which we have had for a long time. I think many of the uh, experts, cricket fans, our friends, colleagues, most of the people have told us that test cricket is dying. There has to be something to be done, but this series has showed us that test cricket is very much here to stay. And what a series we have just witnessed. I think it has brought all cricket fans back to the white, to the red ball cricket.
Absolutely agreed. Knowing the fact that the skipper would leave after the first test, and what happened in the first test, if you all remember, uh, I think we were in a great position to win this game, the first test. But a horrendous collapse in the second innings, and we are bowled out for 36. One of the black days for Indian cricket, and Australia won the game comfortably in the end. Skipper leaving us, Mohammad Shami leaving us. There's no Ishan Sharma, youngsters to be backed. Ajinkya Rahane under pressure leading a side. I didn't, frankly, expect this from the team, which the miracle they had done. It wasn't expected.
Absolutely, and if you see we just went with four bowlers in this test match. So yes, it was a huge beating for us. 36 all out is not what you want when you're trying to win a game. But credit to Australia, I think they really ripped us apart, and
Absolutely.
their they were really lethal the way they bowled, and they just needed three bowlers, and their fast bowlers were really on track. So Australia winning the first test match really very comfortably. But I would say that the way we bowled against them in the first innings was really commendable, because it
Yes,
was just four bowlers of us, and they were bowling long spells into the rough. And but yeah, overall I think when you have 36, when you're all out for 36, you have no chance. And as you said, it was a really disappointing day. I think a confidence blower, I would say. It really dealt dent the confidence, and India needed really something big to come out into the next X match. But Australia winning this game very comfortably at the end.
yes. I think one or the other way, the expectation which dropped post the first test series actually helped us to bounce back and fight back into the series. I've seen experts and pundits commenting that Australia would whitewash India to a 4-0 victory and stuff like that. But then the way Ajinkya Rahane led this team, the character we saw on field, the way he personally has been playing in the series was out of the world for me. And I've been always a huge fan of Ajinkya Rahane and his technique because of the reason, as you mentioned, he's a lot like Rahul Dravid, which we too are huge fan of. So the way we played the second test, a very important century from Ajinkya Rahane, and the way we bowled was outstanding. I felt.
Absolute typical Ajinkya Rahane innings. I was watching the game. I was really lucky that when I switched on, it was Rahane who was playing, and the way he was playing the defense shots, he had all the time in his world. He knew how to play, especially Nathan Lyon, who was
Mhm.
really bowling well. So I think overall, it was a great performance. And was really delighted to see the way he managed the youngsters. I think Shubman Gill
Yes.
was really impressive in this game. He showed a lot of confidence. There was also Mohammad Siraj,
Mm-hmm.
who bowled really well. I think he had again a personal loss in his family, off the field issues, etc. But he also had a lot to prove, and the way the whole team performed in this game again, the first innings bowling was really well, clamping
Mm-hmm.
down Australia for just 195. And credit to Rahane. And again, we were talking about Ravindra Jadeja's batting. He scored a
Yes.
handy 50, which gave us a huge lead. And then it was again Mohammad Siraj and all the other bowlers who bowled out Australia. And at the end, it was a comfortable victory for Team India.
Yes, I think no one expected this, but we were right back into the series with the scores being level and two match, two test matches to go. It was a great affair for us to watch. Coming to the third test, I think this is one of those typical test matches which every cricket fan should enjoy and should cherish.
Yeah.
You see, teams playing out for a draw and sticking there in the middle on the fifth day is a wonderful sight to watch. And
Yeah. So, youngsters who are watching this match must have thought that what is India even trying to do, or who are very much new to Test cricket must be feeling that, oh, this is really boring, where most of the batsmen are just trying to defend the ball and trying to pad the ball away and do stuff like that. But this is what survival is all about. You cannot just go for the target all the time. You have to take it sensibly. That's why Test cricket is known to be the most difficult form of cricket. It challenges you throughout. The pitch gets absolutely hampered by the fifth day. The ball bounces and gets onto your head, your bat. You cannot time the ball well, etc. So there's a lot of issues which go on. The pitch is not worked on like every day. So I think it was a battle of resilience. Australia tried the level best to beat us, but they really couldn't. And what a performance by Hanuma Vihari. I mean, again a
oh,
batsman from Hyderabad. Uh,
yes,
on the last day of the game, I think that was really. But starting off, I think Australia batted really well in the first innings. Again, Stephen Smith showing his class, showing all his aggression. Uh, they scored a good score, a series winning score, I would say, 338. That
yes,
really set them up. But India tried their level best. I think the batting performance was poor. There was a couple of reckless shots from the batsmen. Uh,
yes,
Again, great performance by Pat Cummins, who was actually Australia's main bowler for me. I think Steven Smith
yes,
was always trying to get to him whenever. Sorry, it was Tim Payne. Sorry, it was Tim Payne. The captain always went to Pat Cummins whenever he needed a breakthrough, and the way he was nipping the ball away from the batsman, I think it was a great performance. And again, Australia in the second innings performed really well. I think they scored quickly. It was Steven Smith again, but again, what did you think about Rishabh Pant's innings? I mean, a batsman who has come under a lot of criticism, a batsman who
yes.
has been really under the scanner after the IPL, especially be it body weight, be it the way he was. Again, even in this series, I think he came a lot of criticism about his catching, wicket keeping skills,
Yes,
etc.
yes.
So I think he he was able to somehow silence a lot of critics by playing some aggressive cricket. I mean, I think that
Mm-hmm.
was counter-attacking cricket at its best. I think he scored, really
Absolutely.
deserved a century, I would say.
Absolutely, yes. I think I'm not being one of the Rishabh Pant fan myself, and I've been criticizing him for a lot of long time now. But the way he counter-attacked the Australian bowlers was very much required at the moment because
Yeah,
we were at the back foot trying to save ourselves, and then Rishabh Pant comes. attacks the Australian bowlers, put them under pressure, there is a thought about us maybe winning the game suddenly. So
Yeah,
when you turn the situation to a draw or a defeat to maybe we can chase this down, the Australian bowlers were under pressure. And I think in this match, the experience of Rohit Sharma, who was also back into the Indian team, helped us a lot in some or the other way. There was more stability in the top order along with Shubman Gill, though he scored 22 something in the first innings and a quick half century in the second innings. That helped a lot, and the way Rishabh Pant played was amazing for me.
yeah,
I'm become a fan of his batting.
really.
Still a lot to do in the behind the stump. Still a lot to do,
Yeah.
lot to learn. I think,
I,
but yeah,
I think he has very much silenced us.
yes,
I always said that we need to see Rishabh Pant performing far better than what he's doing, especially in the IPL. But Australia has been one of his favorite countries to
hmm,
perform well. He has already scored a century here in his last tour. So,
yes,
but and again, this is his natural game. We cannot expect a Rishabh Pant to face 200 balls and score 10 runs. So this is not how Rishabh Pant plays, but that can be expected from Hanuma Vihari. I think great support there from Ravichandran Ashwin at the other end for
absolutely.
Vihari. And but I think the base was very much laid by Cheteshwar Pujara. I think the
Yes,
defensive wall. I think the modern day cricket needed a new wall. I think he's very much that person. Faced around 200 balls, got hurt almost everywhere in his body, just trying to play out the Australian bowlers. I think the match was drawn, a fair result, and it was all
absolutely.
over. It was all over to the last game of this
Yes.
beautiful series.
I think Cheteshwar Pujara has been haunting Australian bowlers from the last series as well, sucking their blood and facing easily around 150 balls every time he plays. So that automatically puts a lot of pressure on the Australian bowlers because they're really frustrated to see him around because he neither gets out, neither scores a lot of runs, but is timing everything you bowl at him. He's technically, I think, world class when it comes to batting skills, and the way he played was really amazing to see for all the modern cricketers out there who call it boring and non-sporty cricket. That's the way you play Test cricket. For youngsters who haven't watched Rahul Dravid in his prime, you have missed the biggest parts of Test cricket because me and Shubham were lucky enough to see Dravid play a lot of Test cricket and the way he used to bat. It's quite similar to the way Pujara bats. So it was amazing to see Pujara do that.
Absolutely. So the final showdown was in
Yes.
the fourth test match, one of the best test matches we have seen in a long, long time. It was happening at the Gabba. Again, a lot of hype about this stadium and two teams coming in for the final test match. I think Australia were very confident about winning this game. Uh,
Oh yes.
India tried to save the match in the last game, so it was India uh, uh, India were below par, I would say. They were trying to save their pride. Australia coming into this game thoroughly recharged and trying to win this game and retain or get their hands on the Border Gavaskar Trophy. And
Yes.
I think in the first innings, Australia batted well, but we gave a lot of chances to Labuschagne, who scored
Yes.
a century. I think India's
Mhm.
fielding standards were really not up to the mark, and
Yes.
that's a point of concern, I would say, because we over the years have been a good fielding side, but yeah, this was really not expected, and he went on to score a century, and again 369. I think this would have really got a lot of confidence in the Australian dressing room, but yeah, uh, India came back strong. India had other plans for them, I would say.
Absolutely agreed with you. The way we fielded looked really rusty throughout the series, not only the test matches, but right from the one days, we looked really rusty on field. I think one or two moments of magic in the field by Ravindra Jadeja, but
Yeah.
nothing else to talk about as a fielding unit from Indian team. So yes, it has been below par and something to worry about. And I hope they'll be back at their level best which we are all known for. In the first innings, I think Rohit Sharma again gave a quick start, but we kept losing wickets in quick intervals, and I was worried at on the second day because the number of wickets we lost and two youngsters, Washington Sundar on his debut and Shardul Thakur. We knew they can bat, but the way Australians were bowling, it was too much to ask for from these two kids out there. But the way they played, it looked like there are two openers out there trying to seal their spot at the top of the order.
Absolutely. I think we all expected things from Washington Sundar because he has also opened for
Tamil Nadu.
many IPL teams and I think even one or once or twice for the RCB team. But
Mm-hmm.
Shardul Thakur, the way he batted, I remember him winning us a few matches in the one day internationals in
Yes.
India. I think it was against New Zealand.
New
Uh,
Zealand.
yes, I think. He's a good batsman, pretty unorthodox. Looks nervous on the at the crease, but the
Mhm.
way he batted, it really felt that there are two really champion batsmen out there, and who had to do their bowling well. But Washington Sundar looks really confident. I
Yes.
think he backs himself to score runs, and as you have seen, we'll come to the second innings, but I wanted to just highlight that point. The way he smashed Pat Cummins for a six in a in a very tense situation. I thought Rishabh Pant should have done that, but yeah, he looks a very serious batsman, a defensive batsman, but he has some shots in his arsenal. So a great performance from both these youngsters. I think they really helped Team India to get very close to the Australian score, not give them a huge lead. And
Mhm.
in the second innings again, Australia did what they had to do, but what a performance by Mohammad Siraj. I think
Yes.
this is what has put him in the eyes of the world. I think he has announced himself that he is a bowler who has a lot of talent. We all know that he has got pace. Is
Mhm.
in the IPL, there are many bowlers who have a lot of pace, but they get smashed all over the park. Even experienced bowlers like Brett Lee, Trent
Mhm.
Bolt, uh,
Yes.
uh, Mitchell Johnson. I've seen these guys being smashed all over. So we cannot judge him a lot in based on IPL performances because he has had a really poor IPL last time. So uh, the way he bowled in Test series, because Test is the ultimate challenge, and he ensured that he is bowling. I was watching one of his documentaries released by the RCB team, and
Mhm.
he's such a simple human being. He
Yes.
doesn't even know how the ball swings either sides. He said that मैं सिर्फ बॉल डालता हूँ जहां स्विंग होना है होने दो मेरे को आउट स्विंग नहीं पता इन स्विंग नहीं पता I just bowl with all my honesty and all my pace, and he just varies his length. I think that's what the his main strength is: simplicity. He keeps his
Mhm.
game simple, ensures that his team position is good, and he was rewarded. And I think he was brilliantly supported by the batsman
Shardul
again, Shardul
Thakur, I
Thakur.
think.
I mean, nine
Yes.
wickets between them, between the two fast bowlers, replacing our injured bowlers like Bumrah, Shami, Ishan Sharma. I think what else as a captain can you ask for when your youngsters are delivering like that?
I think Miyabai from Hyderabad. Hyderabadis are known for this swag all the time, and he
Yeah,
showed such confidence and swag on field. I think Natarajan also bowled pretty well in the first innings, picking up three important wickets. And then, as you
of
said,
course.
Shardul Thakur and Mohammad Siraj shared nine wickets, and it was I think both of them were chasing for the fifth wicket haul, but Siraj bowled, and I think Shardul Thakur was the one who took the catch. So I think both of them more or less were the real winners of the second innings. But chasing a target of 330 was never going to be easy, considering we had around 1.5 day in our hand.
Absolutely.
And
Any team who is thinking with their brains would go for a draw.
yes, so I was expecting the same result as we had in the previous game. Uh, but unfortunately, Rohit Sharma, I think on the fifth day, First session, very early, lost his wicket. But the way Shubman Gill, your guy from KKR, played, that that I think was a turning moment of the game. 91 runs under such pressure when there's Hazelwood, Cummins, and Stark smashing you, coming at you, bowling at the fourth stump, trying to get you caught behind or get you LBW. The way he played, I think, was a turning point, and also great support from Pujara, who was doing his job, which he's known for at the other end. But the way I think Shubman Gill set up a foundation out there that maybe if we play to our strengths, we can chase this down. And then Rahane, I think Rahane for me showed the intent in this game. The time he walked out, Nathan Lyon was bowling. He came down the line and smashed Nathan Lyon for six. Completely unlikely of someone like Ajinkya Rahane. And that moment, I was thinking, yes, I think India are trying to chase this down because we don't see Rahane do all these fancy things, being under pressure as well. And then Rishabh Pant came in and did played a T20 innings in the white dress. So overall, a
Yeah.
historic win for Indian cricket. After the way we were welcomed at Gaba by Tim Payne behind the stumps on the third test, I think it was a historic win, and this will be down there in the history books.
Absolutely. I think it was not more of, yeah, it was a combination of ODI and T20 cricket at its best, more of one day cricket. And I remember I I think of Mahendra Singh Dhoni in a situation like this. He loves situations like these in which the game is very much in the balance and it can go anywhere. So I think Rishabh Pant very much, because he idolizes Dhoni. We all know that, and I think he remembered his quotes like "take the game deep," because Mahendra Singh Dhoni always used to take the game deep, and it was very intelligent of Rishabh Pant to not go for the win at the beginning,
Yeah.
because I think he was playing for a draw, but the
Hmm.
way he was supported by the other batsmen, I think he was the only batsman who could chase down that target, but he did not want to take that risk because he has come under a lot of scrutiny himself. Because if he
Yes.
went for the win and lost his wicket, he would have been smashed by the media and all the fans. So
Yes.
he kept a cool head in those shoulders, in those young shoulders, I would say. And I think another important innings there was from Washington Sundar. I think
Yes.
a couple of boundaries from Sundar really released the pressure in a very tense situation of the game, and those runs were really important. 22 runs, really important because he scored them very quickly. 22
Hmm.
runs of 29 balls. And then it was all Rishabh Pant. He understood that, yes, now we can win this game.
Yes.
The number of runs required came really low after Washington's innings. And yes, India won the game. India won the game by 3 wickets. Uh, Even after the win, all the Indian players looked really calm. That was really nice to see. I
Yes.
know the team is aggressive. It is going for the win, but it is always good to see a team balanced and in control of their emotions. So I think this is a very well led team by Ajinkya Rahane. Many are saying that he should take over this Indian team and take over the captaincy because they many experts see Rahane having a lot of knowledge about setting his team against a tough opposition like Australia away from home. So yeah, great win, historic win. I think the whole world has seen how this Indian team can come back in a strong against a strong lineup like Australia, and let's hope for the best. I think good things are coming up. We are playing England next at home, so that will be a very interesting series. England are really doing well in the subcontinent against Sri Lanka right now. So yeah,
Yes.
that will be another interesting series, and we just hope for all cricket fans that it is competitive like this one, because sometimes,
Absolutely.
yes, tests do get boring when both teams score a lot of runs, there's no wickets falling, both teams getting and then drawing, declaring, and the game finishing in a draw, or some team just moving, having a one-sided affair. I think the more the competitiveness of the game, I think there will be more fans coming back into the Test cricket arena. I would say that.
Agreed, completely agreed to you. I think the fact that both the captains didn't face a situation where they had to declare an innings
Yeah.
says how competitive the Test series was, and credits to Rahane for the way he led the team. The main skipper, the actual skipper Virat Kohli, is on leave. Your star bowlers are out. Your batsmen are injured. You're leading a young team against a fully fit Australian team at their home, and you win the series. I mean, Indian cricket is in safe hands now, and credits to BCCI and the whole arena of players being selected for the Indian cricket team. I think every player out there played for the nation there, and huge victory for them. So as you said, we are facing England at home. I think it's going to be really interesting series considering how strong England are. Also, we are fighting for the Test championship as well. We are placed one
Yeah.
and two there, so it'll be really interesting to see because I see both the teams are really balanced. What Australia missed in the middle was a good all-rounder, which India had all the time. But then you have Ben Stokes out there, and there are a lot of other bowlers. Jimmy Anderson, we all know what he can do. So it's going to be a really interesting series, and hoping for a very competitive series as well.
Absolutely. And final shout out, I think we should be giving to Rahul Dravid, who has groomed a
Oh
lot of
yes,
Indian youngsters in the India A and Indian under 19 setup. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I think we have covered the whole India Australian series, and it was end of the day. Australia did win the one day series, but it was India who came back and got their hands on the trophies of both the Test matches and the T20Is. So I think it was a great series for all cricket fans. COVID has really hampered the previous year and almost the starting of this year, but for all cricketing fans, it was a good start, especially fans all over in India. So,
absolutely.
yes, we'll be coming up with a lot of interesting content on both cricket and football. So, keep liking, keep commenting, and keep sharing all our videos. But until then, it's goodbye from all of us.
Also, guys, do drop down some comments about which was your moment of the series throughout the India Australia series. We would like to know which was your moment which you enjoyed throughout and the most in the series. And keep sharing, and subscribe to the channel. And thanks for all the love. See you soon.